Okay, we are back. Sorry about the technical difficulties there. My internet decided to go down. We've been having some weather here in the area, so hopefully it remains stable for the rest of the night. But John Luden taking his first GT2 pole here at Road Atlanta in the wet. Marty Uren qualifying second, just behind by mere 7,000ths of a second. Caldani the third, Parsons fourth, Poole fifth. I know you guys were you stayed in, you watched that session. Why don't you let us know how it happened?
Yeah, there's a real flurry of activity right toward the end. We, of course, started off flooded in that session, and the track began to heat up and the rain began to dissipate, Al, and we saw quite a flurry there toward the end. The last 3 minutes was one heck of a battle there with John Luden coming out on top, the only driver in the 1:24 range. Chris?
Yeah, Marty Uren, I watched his best lap, just came up 0.08 of a second short on Luden. Nice and clean. A lot of guys just caught traffic at the wrong time when the track got right there at the very end. So David Poole had some bad time, and Ian Joliker, Aaron Parsons all ran into some trouble. We saw John Houston make a big leap right at the end, as well as Rodrigo Triana moved up 8 positions right at the end of qualifying.
So an exciting qualifying session here. Again, apologize for missing that action. We got some late comers here. Prato jumping in late. He's going to be starting from the back. Jonathan Cuppett as well. Last week's finisher finished third last week, so he had a good run, but he's going to be starting from the back also. So we're here in Quali 2, about to turn it over now to the warm-up, but before we do that, Brad, let's run down these championship standings here in GT2. We got Alex White leading the way. We mentioned that, 149, 14 points up on Parsons with 135. David Poole back there in third. Let's face it, he's probably going to have to win both these next 2 rounds and then pray that White and Parsons meet some untimely demise in both races, which is probably unlikely. So it's between those 2 guys up front, Marty Uren in 4th, Joe Lecor 5th. Now the team standings, this is what I know, Brad, you really you're into the team running, but this is as close as we've seen it in quite some time. Kung Fu Racing, after last week, is now leading the championship 195 by 2 points over T-Brock Dam Bam and Axis of Awesome, who are both tied with 193. 05 Motorsports there in third. They're still in at 133 points, and Team Columbia Newies with 110 points.
Well, it's about time we've gotten to this point situation, because I've been chomping at the bit. In fact, when we first came on the broadcast, I was so tongue-tied trying to get that out of my mouth, but we had all the exciting qualifying action going on. So it was T-Brock Dam Bam, remember, last week at Sandown, having some problems there in that team championship. Their substitute had met with some problems and did not collect as many points as they could have for that race. So it is Kung Fu Racing has been vaulted into the lead. So that's Marty Uren and Ian Jolicoeur. So Marty Uren qualifying second here and Ian Jolicoeur in 6th. So very strong showing for them. Well, Axis of Awesome actually on the back foot now. So team leader Alex White qualifying 8th, and just with several boat anchors really in the boot of that Aston Martin. So Alex White down a bit, and of course teammate Matt Taylor. Now we didn't see where Matt Taylor finally shook out at, but it is going to be
10th.
In 10th. Yeah, so a very intriguing championship battle with Kung Fu Racing in the dominant position at the moment, and perhaps in the catbird seat to take even a wider margin heading into our qualifying event next week.
Now, I know you guys have been in this situation before, battling for team championships. Being Parsons and White, that battle there, I mean, what are you looking for from White? I mean, if you're in White's shoes, do you try and lose some of that weight to go into the final round, or you just go as fast and finish as best as you can? Or do you kind of play that game, the weight game?
Well, I'll go ahead and go first. Knowing Alex White doesn't give one fig for the weight. Alex White is going to try to get as many positions and points as he possibly can. If it were me, I might have different strategic thinking on it. What do you think, Chris?
Take every point when you can get it.
So there you have it.
But, you know, it should mention as well that T-Brock Dam Bam. Now, they did not have the best of results at Sandown, with Aaron also languishing back a bit in that race. I did have some interesting news and notes from that race as well, but might not have time to get into that. But Aaron Parsons and teammate John Houston. So John Houston, as Chris mentioned, just clipping Alex White there toward the end of that session. Will be starting 4th and 7th respectively. So nice job by those guys, and it's all going to come down to this race.
Well, I mentioned before the broadcast dropped that the last running here in GT2 was in 2012, December of 2012. Joe LaCour winning the race. Alex White taking 2nd in the same car he's in tonight. And Palacio, who's not here tonight, finished 3rd in the Audi R8. So, race went 41 laps, 56 minutes total, 56 and a half minutes total race time. And fastest lap of the race was set by Marty Uren in the Panos with the 1:19.8. So, be interesting to see what some of these lap times will be, if they improve at all, if they remain consistent. I really didn't catch what those times were in practice, but I'm sure they were close.
Come on. Yeah, so I mentioned a little earlier about some of these wild cards involved in this championship. So Andres Prieto now will be starting toward the back, but we know Andres Prieto has some tremendous speed and certainly knows how to get around this place very well. So always a possibility Andres Prieto could find himself in the mix between some of those championship rivals. John Luden as well. Well, of course, since he will be starting at the front, then he's an obvious wild card. And Jesse Caldani there too. So some of these championship hopefuls having to contend with some other very racy guys, not necessarily in the mix for the overall championship.
Well, it's going to be a interesting first set of laps here. The S's have been known to see some incidents in the past, as well as they turn, I believe it's 6 and 7. Some guys getting caught off there in the past, so hopefully that's not the case here tonight. You'll have some excellent passing opportunities, especially going into turns 10. And we've seen some in turn 6 and 7, actually. It's tough to do, but we'll just see how it shakes out here tonight. This warm-up session's about to expire here, and then we'll move it on over to the race and get this thing underway. As Parsons practicing his pit entry here. So what are you guys looking for as we head into tonight's race? What are you expecting in terms of favorites here tonight?
Chris?
I'm going to go overall with Marty Uren. If he can stay out of trouble here early, this is one of his best tracks. I had a great battle with him here a few seasons ago, and he's got no weight, and he's got a good car for the circuit if it stays dry. I'm picking Marty, but I do have one flyer. Aaron Parsons starting 4th has a good shot to be in the lead by turn 1, the way these cars have been doing a couple launches in that Viper. Even though he's got the 30 kilograms, the 2 cars in the front row are not good launch cars, so this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it sure will. So it was Ian Jolicoeur taking the win last week. I'm not going to pick him here, however. I think I am going to go ahead and go with John Luden. So a relative newcomer, like you say, to GT2, but has come up to speed very quickly. And I tell you, I think by and large, really the key for anybody who wants to win this race is going to be to survive that first set of S's. So these guys will be side by side and having to make some decisions, and the race is going to start damp out.
It is going to start damp, 98 degree ambient, 107 degree track temp. So wow, interesting start for tonight. So from pole, John Luden's gonna start in the P1s, followed by Marty Uren in second, Jesse Caldani third, Parsons fourth, and David Poole in fifth.
Ian Jolicoeur is going to take 6. John Houston, nice run to 7th. Alex White in 8th. Alex Scott in 9th. Matt Taylor in 10th.
Rodrigo Triana 11th. Mike Trussell is going to start 12th. Greg Myers 13th. Jaime Moore 14th. And Mike Braytrix in 15th.
Mike Monahan will start 16th. David Rowley put in an appearance for 17th. Kevin Miller's in 18th. Krishna Khalili in 19th. Curtis Chandler in 20th.
John Watson 21st. Ken Rodriguez 22nd. Dan Wilkerson 23rd. Brian Story 24th. Lou 25th. And Prato's going to start 26th. And Cuppet from the rear. I know you guys made your call. I can't count on David Poole, especially in these conditions, but keep an eye out for Andres Prato starting from the back. He is fast here, and don't be surprised if you see him up in the mix by the end of the night, as the rain is starting to come down here. Conditions are, it's raining. So these guys making last-minute decisions here in terms of tire selection. Do you start on dries? Do you go on inters? It's a tough call.
Big advantage to the front engine guys here in this damp conditions. They don't have to take nearly as much risks as the mid-engine guys with tire selection.
Greg
Yeah,
Myers.
I think if it's me,
Go ahead.
I think if it's me and the car's okay, I'm going to have to go with the slicks. I'm going to try it.
Word from the pit lane. Marty Uren on hard wets. Greg Myers on inters. Some on medium slicks. As we're about to go green here, we're away, and Luden with a slow getaway. That's gonna bring Marty to the lead. Parsons right up to second. Jolicoeur to third. And White's gonna move up to fourth, it looks like, here as the race gets underway. Looks like Pole's gone off on his own. Working our way here in the entry to the S's. Triana's jumped up to 7th. Luden with a bit of a slide. He's going to drop even further down, possibly. Ooh, Luden having struggles. He's off.
That's a little with the slicks.
That was all self-induced. Marty quickly starting to check out here. He's got already put a bit of a gap between himself and Parsons in second.
Well, a lot of this early dicing... A lot of this early dicing is going to come down to what guys are on what tires, but now that it's gone wet, oh boy, some guys are going to be in serious trouble.
Matt Taylor on board with him as Alex White's got a run on Jolicoeur heading into turn 10. Side by side, ooh, Jolicoeur. White giving Jolicoeur the business. White hangs on to it. Triana now up to 6th. All this battle for 3rd. White all over the back of Jolicoeur. Is he going to look into it? Turn 1? Nope.
David Poole obviously started on slicks. He's in the pits already for a tire change.
Yeah, I'm wondering about Jesse Caldani as well. Now, Jesse Caldani, of course, started up toward the front. He quickly fell back, went off track, now running 16th. He may be on the slicks as well.
Yeah, ooh, as Taylor gets it a little wide and he reels it back in, but White is all over the back of Jolicoeur here early on. Further back, Trussler having a look on Houston. Go ahead.
Luden, Prieto, and Poole all in the pits with tire check.
Wow, here goes my prediction. Down the tubes. I'm going with Trussell here. They got a run on Houston here, going into 10. They're going to look on the inside. Well, Triana's right there as well. Looks like Trussell's going to get that spot from Houston. And he makes it stick. Yep, nice pass by Trussell up to 6th.
Yeah, and as you watch that battle, I can fill you in. Alex White has moved his way up now to P3. So from 8th on the grid, Al, to up to 3. Good showing for Alex White early.
And now Joe LaCour under intense pressure from Matt Taylor.
Looks like the Astons are on full wets, and Joe LaCour and Parsons may be on intermediates from the pace.
Very interesting. I tell you, I wouldn't have gone any more than the intermediates. At best, I think I saw some lightning come down out there too.
Yep, White's already putting pressure on Parsons, really closing the gap. There's Prato now. He's out of the pit lane. We're looking further back now. As Taylor looking on the inside of Joe LaCour. Looks like he's going to get the pass made. He does. Wow, good job by both those guys. So Ian is falling back quickly. Here's White about to make the pass on Parsons for second. Not going to get it done. Not yet, anyway. Ooh, bit of a lurch there from Parsons.
Yeah, the forecast is now calling for flooded conditions.
Wow.
So it has gone all right for Alex White here early on in this event. That's for sure. He is going to have a huge advantage. It's even if it dries out from this point, it's sure going to stay wet for quite a while.
Marty's already put a 6-second gap on between himself and second place Alex White. Let's see if White can chew away at that time. Let's take a look further back as Parsons nearly takes it off. Taylor's going to be quick to jump on that position, as he certainly has the pace in these conditions.
I think one more guy here, Mike Monahan, looks like he's on full wets. He's on rails. He's moving up.
I tell you, it's not.
Taylor looking to make the pass on Parsons here, and Parsons not going to fight it. Go ahead, Brad.
I tell you, it's not necessarily all doom and gloom for the guys on the intermediates at this point. If they can just hold on and try to get to a pit window, there is a pretty wide pit window for these guys now. They will have to make it quite a few laps, but if the track doesn't get too much wetter, if they kind of maintain control here, just drive within themselves, know that they're going to lose some time. Track just went flooded. Okay, they're hosed. Forget I said anything. Time to come in.
Wathen up to 9th. Great Tricks and Alex Scott. Looks like Scott's got a little bit of damage. These guys running side by side. Great Tricks, if he's on full wets, that Ford will be good here. And he's going to not challenge Scott for that position. So Scott hangs on.
John Houston in the pits. Aaron Parsons in the pits.
Wow, early stops. So it's just too wet for the Inters, as Brian Story's going to move up to 10th. So Brian Story with a great start.
Trussler going by Ian Joe LaCour right now. 4th. No, didn't happen.
What a turnaround for Trussler. Guy who was fighting for points. I'm telling you.
In my mind, it was a hell. Yeah, absolutely. You know, in my mind, it was a hell of a gamble to go with the full wets here with the temperatures that we started out with. But boy, it has sure worked out pretty darn well for a couple guys.
Monahan about to put Ian down another position. Ian takes it off. He's going to have to pit. Monahan now up to 5th. As Alex White is checked out from his teammate.
Yeah, those top 5 are definitely on full wets, and the rest of the field is either pitted or on intermediates.
Now, this will certainly shake things up here as Monahan now up to 5th. Joe LaCour. Let's see if he decides to come in or if he's going to stay out there. Closest guy to him is Wathen, and Joe LaCour is in. So Wathen's going to move up to 6th. Alex Scott looks like he's on full wets. He's staying out. Story now is going to move up to 8th. Looking further back, Halili in 11th. He's going to improve here. Dan Wilkerson looking good. He's running 12th. Ooh. Looks like Kurt Chandler's gone off. Jaime Moore running in 14th. So Jaime Moore moves up to 13th. Got Chandler, Mascarelli, and Cuppet. Cuppet in the weeds. You better get back on track. There you go. That would have been a tough braking situation. Cuppet trying to make his way around Lou. Looks like he's struggling for grip in that Corvette.
Alex White in an odd position here. Andre Prieto's a lap down, but he's faster. And he's trying to find a way up.
Yeah, good point, Chris. Alex actually did just get bought, but certainly held him up quite a bit, though. Marty Uren does look to be faster at this moment.
Cuppet looking on the inside of Lou. Not making that easy on Cuppet. Let's see if Cuppet can make the pass here down the straight.
Oh, I tell you, toward the end of this race, we might really have to be looking through the back of the order and who may be a lap down here, because a lot of our very high finishing positions, I think, could end up being a lap down here due to this big shakeup we've had at the start of this race.
Brad, Al, you won't believe it. It's still hot out and the track is drying. The rain is letting up.
It just went wet.
Interesting. So some of these guys...
Oh my.
These guys, I don't know, some of these guys might have gambled, gone on to soft wets, who knows?
Yeah.
No doubt.
So Marty continues.
Yeah, now that everybody was forced to come in, it's certainly not going to hurt the guys at the front. The gaps are going to stay even if everybody has to come in again. Well, there you go.
Watching this battle between Trussler and Monahan. Go ahead.
This track's drying quick. This is going to get real interesting.
Yeah, 102-degree track temp. We'll see how things pan out as Trussler has a bit of a moment. Scott now running in 6th. He's going down the order here. Cuppet has gotten past Mascarelli. Now Cuppet's got his sights set on Jaime Moore. He might get the job down here, down the end of the straight. Cuppet's teammate Wilkerson looking strong.
Well, this is when some of those mid-engine cars have to be so careful. That rear end can become very snappy once the tires start really getting hot and ballooned up with pressure.
Moore with a moment there in 10B. But holds on to that spot. So Parsons rejoins. He's back now after that tire change. He's up to back now to 14th. His teammates in 15th. David Pools made a tire change. He's in 16th. Joe LaCour's back to 17th. Chandler in 18th. Greg Myers back in 19th. Greg, I believe, started on Inters. Breita's made a tire change. He's in 21st. Caldani's behind him. Luden back at 23rd. So he hasn't been able to improve even after his stop. So Greatrix is back at 24th. Miller 25th. Rodriguez is out. Triana's out as well. Kurt Chandler takes it off as Marty Uren leading the race. I'll take a quick look at the gap. It's now nearly 10 seconds. Marty over Alex White in second. Got another, looks like Rally's off there in the distance as well.
Yeah, that Marty Uren, Alex White gap continuing to creep up ever so slightly as Alex White, I think, is electing to play it a little cautious and certainly has quite a bit of weight compared to Marty Uren's. Advantage Marty Uren at this point.
Track gone up to 103 degrees, so rain's still coming down, however.
Yeah, temperature now going back continuing to go back up. Oh, still wet. Really crazy weather conditions, I tell you. So right now the battle is beginning to brew over that 11th spot. It is Cuppet, Parsons, and Moore all battling here.
Yeah, Cuppet's been trying to get by Moore for a couple laps now. Cuppet's just not able to get close enough to make a move. Now Parsons has caught up to these guys. On board with Parsons. Exit turn. Ooh! Cuppet with a moment. Oh, he saves it. That's allowed Parsons to get by. See what Parsons can do here.
Yeah, clearly has the speed.
Word from the pit lane is that Joe Licora went on to soft wets. Parsons going to look on the inside. Heavy on the brakes. Makes it stick. Nice pass by Parsons.
Yeah, and as it doesn't seem to be in too much tire trouble, I'm wondering if you might not have decided to go on the hard wets too, seeing the temperature is still relatively high.
Alright guys, everybody's lap times are going way down or up, however you want to look at it. They're getting faster right now, so the track is drying big time.
So yeah, you see Parsons already checking out from Jaime Moore. And Cuppet's still stuck behind Moore. Halili now closing up two Porsches going at it. Halili and Brian Story. Ooh, Greatrix has turned it around. He's off in the tire barrier.
Alex White just set fast lap.
So
I tell you,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think Alex White needs to be a little careful here. There is no need for Alex to be pushing, particularly in... Oh, wow. I definitely wouldn't be pushing.
Yeah, you can see it. He's up in that first sector, but the rain, the temp's gone up. The rain has stopped. You can see. I was going to comment on Trussler here. He's holding off Mike Monahan. Mike Monahan, a seasoned veteran, has won a race or two in his career here at NAGP. No slouch, certainly. Trussler doing a good job. So Trussler's got good pace in these conditions.
Kresnik just hit the wall from 9th position.
Oh!
Yeah, it's Rally.
Aaron Parsons is set fast lap.
Off. Wilkerson running in 9th. Ooh, Halili's got a puncture.
Yeah, heavy damage for Kresnik.
Wondering what happened to Brian Story. Those two were running close to one another. Ooh, Story has turned it around. So Story is in 8th.
Oh.
So he's back on it, but rejoins right in front of Dan Wilkerson, who's in 9th. So Wilkerson should have the motor to get by this Porsche down the straight.
You know what the next question is, guys? Who's going to be brave enough to go to slicks first?
Wilkerson having a look on the outside. Nope. Story hangs on to it.
Yeah, an interesting question, Chris, and I tell you, it's going to be a difficult choice here with the temperature continuing to climb a little bit. These guys are going to see the temperature on those treaded tires and go, well, I want to do something to try to control the temps. Maybe some slicks aren't a bad way to go about doing that.
Greatrix is in.
Billy Raleigh in the pits.
So
Greatrix is in.
Wilkerson going to have a look in turn 2. Quite the situation Wilkerson is in. He's trying to get by Story, but Story's teammate Kevin Miller behind him might be faster than the two of them combined.
Race leader in the pits with his teammate right behind him.
Wow. That's certainly an early stop, working lap 13.
Interesting.
Moves White to the lead. That is an interesting set of circumstances. You got to figure both those guys are going to jump onto the inters.
Well, the track just went damp just now. If they saw that heading into the pits and planned on going the rest of the way, if they can, I have to assume that they're in a pit window, then it might not be a bad idea to try to ride out those slicks until the track does dry enough to take full advantage.
Tressler's in too. Corvette's very easy on the tires.
Cholacore from the pit lane. What's the tire choice as you're exiting?
Went for slicks, boys. Medium slicks.
Good luck.
Oh boy.
So there you have it, Cholacore. We'll keep an eye on him as he exits the pit lane on medium slicks.
Yeah, I was thinking the very same thing those guys were thinking too, so that could be their best opportunity here, I think, to try to really gain some big ground, but boy, they're going to have to be so careful. Watching Marty Wren just out of the pits now. It is going to be a few laps before they're able to really go on those tires.
Well, we're watching Ian right now on the broadcast, and it doesn't look too bad. He's got it under control here, so we'll check in with Ian in a little bit. Let's see, keep an eye on his lap times. But he's certainly very gingerly applying the throttle through some of these sections.
Surprising to go to slicks right now. You think they would hold out a little bit.
Yeah, I would think so too. I certainly would have tried to go a couple laps deeper.
So Alex,
David Rowley, who obviously with the slicks just lost control right on the straightaway, middle of the straight. He hit the wall.
so Alex White continuing on, obviously on the wet weather tires. He's got Greg Myers right behind him, and it looks like Greg might have some pace on White. So we'll see if
And John
White
Wathen
decides to
into the
bring it
pits.
in. Skies have cleared, track's gone to damp.
Yeah, those tires must absolutely be screaming now at 110 degrees with only a damp track.
White's gonna stay out.
Yeah, and of course it's always possibility there with a relatively short track. Not so short of a pit lane, but there's a possibility some of these guys are calling for stops, not able to get in.
Oh, Marty just threw it off.
Taylor is in. So
Marty's
White's
on the
teammate.
slicks, clearly. Oh, Marty's all over. P5.
Oh, Marty's taking it off. You're right.
Too soon for slicks.
I tell you, it doesn't matter how slow you have to go in these circumstances. You absolutely have to make sure you don't go off track, even if you're just crawling around these corners, because you have to take you want to be able to stay close to Alex White.
Parsons searching for wet track, so he's running into some temperature issues, no doubt. Wilkerson, meanwhile, running in fifth. See what he elects to do. He's bringing it in. Monahan is in. Taylor is in. He's getting tire change. Scott moves up to second.
Yeah, they could quickly back on Aaron Parsons. So John Houston has come in and made his stop, so he'll be able to give some feedback there to Aaron Parsons. And I don't know what kind of tires John Houston is on, but in any event,
White's going to stay out. No doubt it's going to wait for his teammate. It seems that wait for his teammate to report back on the tire situation.
yeah, John Houston does look pretty stable, so I don't know if he's on the slicks or not.
I mean, Moore is up to third. Duran is running in fourth. Brian Story now in fifth, with Matt Taylor behind him. Ooh, Story's just turning around. Looks like Story might have gone on to slicks. Ooh, White! Nearly getting by that. Story doing a good job there. It's a tough section. He didn't want to turn around in somebody's way, but White had to take evasive action there, so Story drops a spot. Trusser in eighth.
Fast stop for Eza. He jumps Monahan and Wilkerson.
So Mascarelli's now up to ninth. Wathen 10th. Wathen has pitted. couple guys dropping here. Parsons running in 11th. We saw that. Monahan behind him in 12th. These guys have both pitted. So, Wilkerson as well. Cuppet. Now, Cuppet running in 14th. He's got Houston all over the back of him. Luden there as well. Cuppet looks like he had to check up the Houston. Yeah, he did. We just saw that. Monahan getting it turned around. Two Vipers duking it out here.
Greg Myers into the pits from 7th.
Monahan's in big trouble here.
Houston, take a look on the inside. Make it stick. Yep. Nice pass. David Poole now back in 15th. Someone else entering the pit lane. Joe LaCour looks like he's heading off. He's in 16th. Heavy damage to the right side of that Mercedes.
Alex Scott pitting from 2nd.
Caldani back to 18th. Monahan's now back in 19th. Looks like Monahan getting out of the way of the lead cars. Oh no, he's just like right to fry.
Just Alex White and Jaime Moore, the only two not to stop yet. No running 1-2.
Monahan
and White's coming in.
White right behind Mike Monahan. So Monahan for another tire change.
That was a very slow entry for Monahan, and that cost Alex a little bit.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that.
Well, given how Marty's been having so much trouble here on the slicks, I don't know if that's going to matter much. I think Alex White has definitely gained some time over Marty Urin, though on that rotation it was Marty Urin out in front by about 7 seconds. So he had a bit of time in hand.
You got Marty right now behind Jaime Moore. Jaime Moore running in 2nd. Marty just taking off into the grass.
Yeah, this is Alex White's race to lose. Oh, John Wathen takes a DNF from 10th.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Jaime Moore looking to get by Greatrix. He does.
Ooh, that's tricky.
White still in the pits. He's going to drop down. He's going to lose a spot, it looks like, to Moore and Urin. Urin's going to take that spot. We think it's going to be close. It's going to be nip and tuck. Marty's got it. Now, well, here's the situation here. What's going on with Jaime Moore? Is he...
Still has not pitted.
He has not pitted yet. The question is, can these guys go the distance?
I think they can go the distance. Jaime Moore must have gone ahead and stayed on the inters through all the turmoil out there through the flooded conditions. He was one of the guys that managed to hang on through the doldrums of the intermediates, I think. So it's still turning relatively good lap times. That is going to shift quickly as the track continues to dry, but this could end up being a very nice result for Jaime Moore.
Yeah, you can see Jaime searching for water down the straight there.
Jaime elects the pit. Ooh, big moment.
Whoa. Here's the tough thing for the guys on the slicks. There's only really one dry groove. It's hard to pass.
Oh my! There you go. You just... Ooh, what a save. Wow. He's going to hang on to that spot, looks like. Yes, wow. Wow, you called that. Ooh, another one. He's gone. He's off. you go. Oh, right.
Oh. Not good.
How many times does a guy have to be clipped and still do something like that? Yeah, I'll say it.
That could have been lights out for 4 guys right there. Not good.
And him.
Yep. So Taylor.
Whoa.
So meanwhile, that's given Jaime Moore a little bit of gap between himself and Alex White, who's running in second. Track remains damp, however, the temperature has skyrocketed up to 112 degrees.
Aaron Parsons up to 7th now. He's turned fastest lap. He just had a little trouble getting by Liquid Lube. Caught a little damage there.
Trussell running in 5th, Story in 6th. So Story having a good run. Here's Parsons. He's going to go to work on Story after getting by Lou. Alex Scott after pitting, he's running in 9th, so he's got Lou in his sights. Houston in 10th. Wilkerson running in 11th. Jolie Cornell up to 12th. Guppert running 13th. Ooh, we got a battle for the lead here.
Alex White's all over Jaime for the lead, but Jaime's got him by the short hairs here. As long as he stays on the line, it's going to be very hard for Alex to pass.
Go with White. Ready the pool. Caldani just ahead. Nope, not close enough.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters. Alex White has plenty of time in hand. Certainly if it does dry enough, you'd think Marty would have a bit of pace. He certainly showed like he did in practice. But just no need for White to do anything at all except be completely careful.
Side by side into 1 as Moore took it wide. And White has taken over the lead. There you go, just like that. Well, we've said it in the
Check it out
past.
now.
Yeah, we've said it in the past, Brad. You know, sometimes you gotta be lucky as well as good. So, taking advantage of other people's mistakes and finds himself in the lead.
Well, I tell you what, I don't know that it was. I mean, the gamble to start on the full treaded tire was a hell of a gamble. But you know what? I gotta give respect for taking a big chance like that, and it certainly worked out well. I mean, you know, what do you say except good job?
Brad, I would have never done it.
No, hell no.
Jellicoe by Wilkerson for 11. And Story's in the pits from 10.
Yep, Scott's Parsons now up to 6, Scott to 7. Houston and Lou now. This is the battle for 8th. Houston all over the back of Mascarelli. I don't believe Mascarelli has pitted yet. He may have.
Jaime Moore is finally in the pits.
So Lou takes it off, makes it easy for Houston.
Yeah, interesting to see where Jaime Moore is going to cycle.
Marty, big off. Into the wall hard in turn 1.
Yep. Just picked that up.
David Poole, DNF.
Still treacherous out there.
Yeah, I think as the track does continue to pick up time, these guys are continuing to try to push a little bit more. And as you know, Chris, it just takes the tiniest bit of going off that actual racing line to find you pushed over the limit.
So Matt Taylor not far off of Marty Uren. He's made a few mistakes. It's allowed Taylor to close that gap. Man, this would be huge for Axis of Awesome if these guys can finish 1 and 2. Go ahead, Brad.
Exactly what I was going to mention. You know, what a disaster for everybody but Axis of Awesome and Alex White. It's just come undone for the entire field here. And I got to tell you, these guys are looking like they are going to have the stranglehold on this championship in both classifications going into Spa.
New fast lap for White, 22.9.
Liquid Dude's in the pits finally.
Taking a look at the gap. It's 18 seconds White over Marty Uren, and about 5 seconds between Uren and Matt Taylor, and then the gap widens quite a bit. Still 11 guys on the lead lap.
You know, I was assuming that Marty Uren took the... Why wouldn't, but boy, teammate Ian Jolicoeur is looking very good out there, turning some extremely consistent, fast times, but Marty Uren just seems completely lost, so I don't know what's going on there, but similar equipment, you'd think similar setups and tire strategy not working out for Marty.
So Mike Trussell running in 4th right now. He's got Aaron Parsons beginning to reel him in. Behind him, Alex Scott running in 6th. And Houston now trying to reel in the other vet. So we got two Viper vet duels going on here. Jaime Moore's rejoined in 8th.
Sorry, Hal. Speaking of Vipers, you know, teammates Cuppet and Wilkerson both running 9th and 10th. 10th and 11th, excuse me. So, great showing for those guys.
Cuppet carrying a little success ballast, 20 kilograms from last week's 3rd place finish at Sandown. Had a great run, great last lap pass on White for that final podium position. So, his first podium at any GT2, any GP lead. But yeah, those guys are looking good. About to be put a lap down, however, from White. Donnie's in 12th, Preto up to 13th, Myers 14th. So go back through the field here, back out front. We got White leading. The gaps have guys have pretty much spaced out a bit here.
Yeah, Alex White leading and in the 22s, so about 1.5 seconds faster than anybody else on track, and I'm really kind of wondering why.
He's got her hooked up.
Assuming he's on slicks, right? Or could he have taken inters? Who knows? Track's still damp.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll tell us if he wins this one.
I'm pretty sure he's on slicks. Marty Uren just set fast lap.
So Marty trying to get to work here. That damaged Mercedes still putting down some good lap times.
Oh, Jaime Moore was... I saw some smoke and some damage. Jaime Moore's had a big off here. He has slipped down to the 12th spot.
And Brad, Ian Jolicoeur's lost the whole front clip, so there must have been a coming together there.
Ah.
Oh yeah, he's got heavy damage to that Mercedes. Wilkerson's just gotten past for 9th.
Oh, Ezra's off at turn 1 in an incident with, looks like Mike Monahan.
Yeah, Parsons went off. I saw Lou involved as well, I think, or not sure. So it looks like...
Dropping like fly.
Yeah, Trussell remains 4th. So it looks like Houston's gotten past Alex Scott. Scott's got Lou up ahead. And Lou's a lap down. So if he won't put up too much of a fight here, he lets Scott by. And not too far back, you got Cuppet trying to close the gap on Alex Scott right about to put Cup at a lap down. That's payback from last week.
Andres Prieto now gone purple with fast lap of the race from 12th position.
So yeah, pretty quiet night for Prieto. He started, looks like, on the wrong tires. Had to come in, but making some headway here late. Actually, midway through, we're about, taking a look at the timing here. We're about 40 some odd minutes into this race. About 20 minutes to go. Given the conditions, I would assume I would imagine the race is going to go the full 60 minutes here. Permanent dry conditions, we went max laps 41, so doesn't look like we're going to reach that. We could hope.
Marty Uren just went fast lap by more than half a second. He's on a charge.
So the slicks are coming alive. Let's take a look at those gaps now. That was 18. It's dropped down to about 16 and a half seconds between Uren and White, and Marty has increased his gap over Matt Taylor in third. So Marty laying down the law here.
You know, it's a little early to tell, but there's been a corresponding increase in Alex White's times here, at least on the last lap. Now, maybe that's down to traffic or something.
He lapped Lou last lap in the final turn. Had to check up a bit.
So Cup and Wilkerson continue to run 8 and 9. Donnie's now closed up on these guys back. He's in the top 10. So he's recovered nicely. Now we're sure, there's still about 20 minutes to go in this race. You confident these guys are good to go?
I would think so. In terms of fuel, I would certainly think so.
Ooh! Scott! Scott, heavy damage through the S's.
I was just about to mention Alex Scott in the... I was just about to mention him in the fantastic drive he's been putting in this race.
He's trying to get it going here, but... Man, that thing is smashed. So that moves Prieto up to 11.
Certainly has a puncture.
On the S's.
So Caldani. Ooh, Caldani! That's when he closed up that gap to Wilkerson. He, little half spin there, so he's going to make up that time again. So it looks like Wilkerson's having some trouble getting by Mascarelli here for that. Oh, as Lou takes it off. So Jaime Moore's closing up on this battle as well. So this battle between... Ooh! Oh, Wilkerson just took it off. Oh man, what a tough break for Daniel. I was just gonna say, Moore has is closing up on this fight for.
Alex White nearly caught the Jersey Bears at the top of the S's, and Marty Uren just reset fast lap again, so it's on.
Trussell's just taking it off. Parsons gotten by for fourth. Ooh, heavy damage for Trussell. Almost in the same spot his teammate took it off. So White about to put Houston a lap down.
I think they might be on the inners. Yeah, I think they might be. Yeah, Matt Taylor is certainly not turning the type of times we would expect to see him turn if he were on the slicks.
Trussell into the pits.
You're then having a hard time getting lapped by Jaime Moore right now.
Yeah, so Trussler in.
Marty sets fast lap yet again. Taking a look at the conditions here, it's still damp, but the track is hot. 117 now. Marty's finally made his way past Jaime Moore. Trussler exits the pit lane. Houston now running in 5th. Looks like Luton's all over the back of him. Luton a lap down. Up at Caldani now duking it out. With the lead car of Uren there in the background.
Guys, what happened to Trussler?
Looks like Trussler took it off in the S's as well. Had some damage. Came
Trussler. Yeah, he.
With Caldani trying to make some headway here on Cupping. Be better through this part of the track. Loses it all down the straights.
Yeah, certainly Jaime Moore is lurking, and Andres Prieto, Jaime Moore's teammate, not too far back either.
So Caldani lets Marty by. Closing that gap on Caldani as well. Prieto now back to 9th. Prieto making a lot of headway. He's closing up on his teammate. How are Prieto's lap times compared to the leaders?
Yeah, so about dead even. He is turning very nice 22s as well now at this point. Just off of Marty's best lap time.
Resets fast lap yet again.
Did that in traffic too.
Yeah, Alex White dips back into the 22 as well.
Ooh, Caldani got hung up behind a lap car and Moore takes advantage. Oh, tough break by Caldani, but heads up move by Jaime Moore. Moore is going to go to work on Cuppet here. Going to follow the leader past Cuppet. Ooh, little contact. Yep, that takes Moore off track. His teammate gets by. That's a tough break for Jaime.
A little bit of dirty pull there, but it is what it is.
Caldani. Little Caldani throws it in. It's contact with Cuppet. Wow, that was a tough break for Jonathan. That was probably not the cleanest passing opportunity there by Caldani, but just broke in way very deep and had some contact with Cuppet. So Cuppet went off, loses some time there. So back up front here, we got White continuing to lead. Taking a look at the gaps, it's now down to 12 seconds. So Marty chewing away at that time.
Yeah, it was actually getting closer to 10, but Marty Uren has run into some traffic, and Alex White has picked the pace back up here as well. So Gap opening up just a little bit here over the last couple laps.
About 12 minutes to go. Your may have a shot at this at the end. Continues to improve each lap. Another fast sector time, personal best.
So looking through timing and scoring a little bit, it looks like the best team recovery to this point really is Aaron Parsons and John Houston. Aside from that Alex White, Matt Taylor duo, who of course are both slotted in the podium at the moment, but T-Brock Dam Bam doing a nice job salvaging quite what could otherwise have been disaster really in this race.
So Parsons running in fourth. He's got only 4 cars right now on the lead lap, but Alex White quickly closing the gap on Parsons. So come down to 3. Matt Taylor running in third. Parsons fourth. His teammate fifth. Brito now up to 6th. Donnie back to 7th. Cuppets made a nice recovery. He's back and running here in 8th. His teammates in 9th. Donnie Moore back to...
Tell Donnie's heading off. Boy, Andres Brieto's got to be grinning ear to ear. He's just cruising along and picking up position after position from mistake after mistake.
So after Trussell stop, he's back now running in 11th. Myers running in 12th. Story was up in the top 10 early on, but he's fallen back to 13th. Joe LaCour running in 14th. Mascarelli in 15th. Grachik's running 16th. That's your last guy in the points. Miller, Luden. What a tough night for Luden. After starting on pole, he is back in 18th out of the points. That's it. He's the last car running. We had 30 guys start this race. 12 are out. Gap remained static at 12 seconds between White and Uren. So it looks like White has found his stride here late.
Yeah, interesting to see those times drop off a bit there for Alex White on consecutive laps, but certainly has regained that momentum, so actually did poke out looking for a little bit of water there.
Yeah, at this point I think if he is on inters, you ride it out.
Yeah, certainly.
Track now 119 degrees, still damp.
Oh, Prieto! And Houston in turn 1 got together. They both kept it on the track though. Battle for 5th.
Yep, we just picked up that battle here. Prieto, we've been documenting his run here. He's on a tear. On over Prieto. Good exit for Brito. He's going to tuck up right behind Houston and make the move. Yep. Viper can't answer the power of that Ford down the straight. So nice pass by Andre. Has brought him up to the 5th position. So, I told you, he was a guy to keep an eye on. I wonder how things could have turned out for him if he had made the right tire choice at the start of this race. So, starting from the back, up to 5th.
Yeah, and had an early spin in contact as well, and you know, you're thinking at the time, oh boy, guy's in serious trouble now. But after all the general trouble we've had in this race with pretty much everybody except a few guys there toward the front, it didn't turn out so bad in the end.
So White has put Parsons now a lap down, so the top 3 on the lead lap. Quick look at the gaps, down at 10 seconds, working lap 37, about to start lap 38.
Cuppett running behind teammate Dan Wilkerson has thrown it off track again, so giving up the 9th place as Jonathan Cuppett will rejoin the track in 12th.
Right for Cuppett, that moves Myers up another position. Starting to close the gap on Brian Story for that 13th position. Still a ways to go for Joe LaCour, who's had a tough night, couple pit stops.
Couple stops, lost a front clip. That'll cost you some time in the pits.
Looking at that gap between Prato and Parsons, it looks like Prato is starting to close up a little bit on Parsons. There's still a ways to go here, but
Prato just set fast lap of the race, and he's up again.
so we talked about Matt Taylor in qualifying, how he was needing a good run here tonight for that team championship. And boy, is he doing the job for Axis of Awesome, running in 3rd. Pretty quiet night for him altogether.
You know, he has contributed to this team throughout the season, but they have been relatively minor points paying positions, with the exception of one of our races early finished on the podium. So, Matt Taylor has, of course, done a stunning job here tonight. Those guys have really got the Aston Martin figured out, and of course had the perfect strategy call as well.
So last check, that gap between Uren and White was 10 seconds, back up to 12. So no doubt Marty's pushing, but at the same time running into some lap traffic, which is costing him some time. So the deeper we go into this race, the less likely it looks like that Marty's going to be able to have a shot at this.
Yep, quickly running out of laps here too, so just a handful left to complete, and it'll be all over but the shouting, as they say.
Working lap 39, so we may hit the max laps. It's going to be close. So White cresting the hill.
Boy, just a little further back in the pack here, we do have one hell of a battle going on over the 15th position. So Mike Gretrix and Lou Mascarelli fighting it out, coming down the main straight.
Yeah, we just picked that one up. Gretrix having a look on the inside of Lou. And wow, nice pass by Gretrix. So Mike up to 15th. Parsons right behind those guys. Takes it a bit wide. Ooh, gets into Parsons.
This might get Prieto a shot at Parsons.
Oh yeah.
Greg Myers up in a ball of flames coming into the final corner.
Oh!
His engine is let go.
Oh yeah. It's on fire.
Yeah, and we didn't chat much about that. This race starting off so cold, those guys closing down those radiators. Obviously, Greg was one of them.
Greg's done.
We got a heck of a battle for 6 now. Kel Donnie's all over the back of Houston. I got to think Houston and Parsons both elected to go intermediates, and they're dropping hard now.
Yep, looks like Goldani's going to get the pass made for 5th. I'm sorry, 6th. Well, gonna have a look on the inside. No, he's not close enough. Take a look at Preto. Ooh, as Greatrix is facing the other way.
Yes.
Donnie gonna take a look into turn 1. Oh, he's thinking about it, but thought better of it. Ooh, still may get it done. On the outside, going into turn 2. Ooh, some contact. Yep. Donnie.
Else, the battle for 4th is raging now.
It is, as Preto has caught up.
Carson's a sitting duck. He's got no chance.
Yep, looks like Preto's going to get it done for 4th. Oh, yeah. Last lap, I believe. Oh, no, we got one more.
Alex White has crossed the line. He's going to take the win.
Oh, yeah, he's got it. Marty to 2nd. Oh, we had one more to go. Matt Taylor is going to finish 3rd. That's the race. Preto's going to finish 4th. Those guys are a lap down. So last lap pass on Parsons by Preto. Matt Taylor here is going to finish in 3rd.
Wow, only 3 on the lead lap after all that.
Pretty amazing. Here you go. Taylor, Parsons, Houston 6th. Goldani 7th. Jaime Moore takes 8th. Trussler 9th. Wilkerson 10th. Cup at 11th. Alex White, do you copy?
Yeah. Hello.
Congratulations on the win tonight. Quite a mixed bag tonight with the weather playing out the way it did. And, well, we got to ask you, what was your selection there at the start of the race? Did you go on, did you choose hard wets? Were you on inters? I know there was a lot of guys who struggled with poor tire choices. What was your call?
I decided to go for a bit of a risk with hard wets. A teammate took soft wet, and it was the right choice because it went pretty much to aquaplaning. Then I pitted a few laps after Matt. He went on slicks and said, yeah, these are the right tyres to be on. And there was still people going off everywhere, so I gave it a few laps before coming in just to let it dry that wee bit more because my wet tyres hadn't decided to explode yet. And yeah, I went from hard wets to medium slicks.
Well, it was a heck of a strategic call there, sitting on the grid and seeing those temperatures, taking those hard wets. I suppose I don't have anything else to say really, except it was a great job, and it's going to be one heck of a points lead for Axis of Awesome heading into Spa.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm right in saying that's the first win with AC Kilos as well, because that was a hellish amount of weight in qualifying, and I couldn't get anywhere near any other time. And yeah, I'm amazed I've just won that. Honestly, I cannot believe I've done that.
Yeah, well, certainly a big win, and certainly cementing your chance at another drivers' championship. In fact, I think you might have just sealed the deal, but we'd have to crunch the numbers here to figure that out. But certainly a big win, Alex. Congratulations, and good luck next week at Super Pole at Spa.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Matt's crunching the numbers right now. I don't
Should
know.
be up 25 points, so there is 29 points up for grabs in the final event, so it's not quite sealed yet.
Yep, not quite see him.
You can't quite go to the club next Monday.
Ah, not yet. Oh, cheers, guys. I look forward to watching the broadcast as usual. It's always brilliant.
Congratulations again.
Congrats, Alex.
Well, there you have it. Brad and Chris, what a tremendous night tonight. The weather playing a huge role in well, all that flurry in and out of the pit lanes, guys with wrong tires, and made for a great race to watch.
Yeah, it was really more a race of what could have been, I think, for a lot of these guys. But in the end, things did shake out. So we did have some guys with a lot of trouble that moved up. Honorable mention to Jonathan Cuppett and teammate Dan Wilkerson, as well as Mike Trussler out there, actually came back up nicely, had a solid top 10 finish, and Jesse Caldani showing great speed. He had a very nice run tonight as well, ultimately coming home in 7th place. So, some disappointments out there, but also some good redemption drives as well. And, of course, Alex White, an amazing run for the win.
Yeah, tip of the cap to Prato as well, starting from the back, finishing 4th there late, so good job for him. But Chris, thank you for joining us tonight with your insight. Always good to hear your perspective of things, and we appreciate it.
Thanks, Al. Thanks for having me, and I hope I didn't yap too much there. Let's get too a little excited there. Scanning through the field.
Well, next week we talked about Spa. It's Super Pole week next week for GT2. We're a week off between GT2 and GT1, so still got another race to go in GT1 before we head to Super Bowl. But nonetheless, next Monday night, 9 o'clock, Super Bowl qualifying, and then the qualifying race, which is always a lot of fun, a lot of very entertaining races to watch. So hopefully you guys can join us then. Until then, we'll be at Mosport for GT1 for the first time this Thursday. So hopefully you guys can tune in with Jack and Ken Rodriguez. We'll bring you coverage of that race. So until next week, thanks guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.